Crawfordsville Peach Cast hosted by Dave Peach. The Peach Cast is sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber Products, Power for You.
Crawfordsville Peach Cast, they call these episodes mixed bag, Dave.
Mixed bag, Dave. So we don't know what all is in the bag. Different items wouldn't normally be together in the bag. They're mixed, Dave, and we're on them.
Let's start out with a discussion my family and I had today. I have sworn off eating that, and it's not for Lent or anything like that, but just because I'm trying to lose weight. But we have a little, my weight is an incredibly important subject and one that the public at large is very interested in.
Okay, of course.
So I said, I sit around here at this office and I buy candy and chips for the guys and gals.
Sure.
And in an afternoon, I could polish off 20, 25 little candy bars.
Oh, gosh, easily.
So I had to say, okay, no more candy and no more chips.
Yeah, okay.
And it's worked. But there's a little sidebar after we'll go after this. But my family and I, we had a discussion because they bought like glazed pecans.
Mm.
So it was a bag of glazed pecans. And I said,
and pecans are healthy.
I say they're not candy.
No, they're just glazed, which means they've been painted with sugary water.
They tried to say, well, it's got sugar. And I said, well, just because it has sugar doesn't make it candy.
Correct, Dave. We need some sugar.
And I give you honey roasted peanuts.
Yes.
Now, is that candy? No.
No.
They don't have Reese Cup, Snickers, honey roasted peanuts, and Almond Joy. No, it's not in the candy section. It's not candy. Honey roasted nuts. And then, but Matthew, my son, was like, well, it's got sugar. I mean, no, it's not candy.
It's not candy.
So
they're going to come at you, but it's not candy, people.
It is not candy. Now, so the good news is I'm not eating candy and I'm not eating chips because I'm trying to get down. I'm about 225 and I want to get down to 200. Anyway.
Okay. Perfect. You'll get there.
So on Saturday, Saturday's an eat day. You're home, kind of watching some TV, watching an untoasted movie for an upcoming podcast or whatever.
Sure.
You want to grab some snacks, but I say, no candy, no chips. No candy, no chips, okay? So I nibble here, I nibble there, and I said I didn't lose any weight, and I figured, well, what happened? Because anyway, long story short, I weigh myself way too much. But anyway, so I said, well, I'm going to chart my calories for Saturday, which was yesterday as we're taping. 4,000 calories.
That seems pretty good.
No,
it's not.
That's quite a bit of calories. That's double what they want me to eat.
They want you to eat 2,000.
2,000, but you don't eat candy, so you eat some peanut butter and crackers.
How much is one Werther's? We're talking.
I'd say 40.
Okay.
40.
Okay.
The frozen pizza was 1,000. It all adds up, is what I'm saying. It all adds up. So it doesn't really matter. Candy, chips. If you go, well, I'm not eating candy or chips. Good for you. But if you are, it still comes down to the amount of calories that you eat. Dave's diet and exact weight, always a popular topic on the Crawfordsville Peach Cast.
Locally, Dave, you're Oprah to me. I've followed your journey, and you were never running around with a bag of lard, and trying to make big points, Dave. It was always a quiet back and forth here, and you look beautiful to me, is all I can say.
Topic number 2, the singing career of John Travolta.
Okay, can I go back to...
Do you know about the singing career of John Travolta?
Dave, I want to let her in, going to let her in my heart. I go back to that. And then, of course, I'm there through, You're the One That I Want. And after that, Dave, did he sing during Staying Alive? I don't know. What else did John do?
I think after Grease, it was pretty much I don't think it happened after Grease.
Yeah, it pushed it at that point, I believe.
I was on Apple Music, and
okay.
Oh man, I got to go over some of my playlists for Apple Music. But I, like most Americans, I put Letter In on my 2025 playlist.
You weren't trying to be cute.
No,
you said, "Hey,
I want to hear it." Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I look at it, and it says on there, digitally remastered.
Wow, somebody got into that.
Digitally remastered. Somebody was sitting around.
Said, you know what? Hey, man. They said, listen.
Somebody was thinking, I was thinking, what are some songs that need to be remastered, digitally remastered, or restored to their original form? What songs come to mind? Letter In by John Travolta?
Letter In, Dave. Somebody goes, you know what? If I could only get my hands on the Travolta catalog and clean all that up.
I guess I'm not crazy. I am not crazy.
Oh, Dave.
Letter In.
There's a 2006 album that has John in a Vinnie Barbarino picture, and it just says John Travolta sings. Okay, and of course it kicks off with Letter In.
Let me check this, Dave. Let me check this, Dave. It looks like I'm. Let me check this. I want to go to my Apple account, and I'm going to. I got to figure it out here. Let's see, playlist, and we see it says there on Apple Music, digitally remastered. It's about time. It's about time.
Dave, there was the internet.
I just want you to know I am not crazy. I am not crazy.
Dave,
they digitally remaster the stuff that I want to hear.
10 songs, Dave, worth, it appears. There's a 1978 compilation called Travolta Fever, Dave.
Oh, baby.
That's got some of these same tracks, but no, they're not remastered at that point. So, folks, if you're looking for the high-quality stuff that really sets off John's voice, make sure you get that newer, digitally remastered version from 2010.
Woo, got a Letter In, baby. We have more on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Don't you dare go away. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Crawfordsville Peachcast, mixed bag. We're just gonna embrace the mixed bag format. We're just gonna call it mixed bag.
Let's go to another place, Dave. Let's go to a farther part of the corner of the bag where the mix is even more sublime.
Now, like most Americans, I search on YouTube for cartoons of the late 70s and early 80s.
Now, do you have to get more specific than that, or that's a good start?
Every year, you can literally go on YouTube and say 1974 CBS, and they're all there.
Okay.
And it's like 5 hours. And, I don't usually go through all 5 hours, but I go through a little. And I saw one that I liked, Happy Days, an animated Happy Days.
In my weird thoughts, I think I remember that happening as a Saturday morning thing during the end of Saturday morning things. But, I think they had the voices, right? We had Anson Williams. We had Donnie Most,
and
probably.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler was doing.
I can say it. Henry Winkler.
He was doing, the Fonz was doing the Saturday morning cartoon as well.
He had Mr. Cool as his dog.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's probably what would have made it all right.
Cupcake was the girl, and they were in outer space. They were actually. I'm sorry. They were traveling through time. I do believe.
Wow.
My mind is a little foggy there, but this was a common theme. You'd like Josie and the Pussycats in outer space.
Yeah,
the Partridge Family in outer space.
I'm gonna buy it. Because
so what was that? They just thought it gave them a whole new.
I don't.
And none of them really lasted more than about a year. But
no,
why the compunction to, is that a word you can say on radio?
Yeah, I think so.
Why outer space?
My gut after working in just in and around the business is like some executive greenlit the first Globetrotters in Space episode, and it did good numbers. And then, after that, it kind of got out of hand before anybody realized, like, is anybody focus grouped? These folks, we take the Bradys to space and everybody's tracking with it. I mean, the kids, are they okay with it? No, Dave, I don't know, because it was a hot trend there for a couple of years in a specific time.
Well, then you had like Scooby-Doo. You remember Scooby-Doo?
Gotta love Scooby.
I mean, they started with a Scooby-Doo show that was just the Scooby-Doo people on the show.
Right. They were just solving mysteries, Dave.
Yeah.
They had a van. Fred was kind of the responsible one. It was they had a formula.
Well, then all of a sudden they throw in Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, because you got to have a little more. And at that point, didn't we have like celebrity voices? And we had like we're adding Don Knotts and Tim Conway occasionally. And
who was Scrappy-Doo? Or as some people would say, who was Scrappy-Doo? What they just said, okay, well, we need Scrappy-Doo. These are the people that brought in Cousin Oliver, right, on the Brady
exactly.
Bunch. We need Scrappy-Doo.
He was the Mason Reese, Dave, of that little gang.
But we're not done.
Okay.
Then there was Scooby-Dum.
Oh my!
Bring it in, Scooby-Dum. Now, how did that go through?
Apparently not well.
It was like a cousin that was from a part of the country or something. I mean, like Scooby-Dum. These people didn't revolt out of that state or something. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh God,
that's
Dave.
not fair.
Did branding run this by legal and?
I'm not making it up, man. Scooby-Dum.
Yeah, it's like the old Mountain Dew advertising, Dave.
I also watched an animated show, The Thing. The Thing, the animated Thing, and here's I hate to pick it apart, but he was in high school. Okay,
sure, yeah.
So when you're the Thing in high school, you just kind of make sure that the high school picnic goes well.
Okay.
Now
it doesn't seem good.
Now, and if we've talked about this on a previous show, I can't remember what we talked about, but the Thing, I figure though, I'll give him this. The Thing probably in his teenage years just kind of need to work out the bugs.
Yeah.
Before he went on to bigger projects.
I understand such.
Animated shows, something that I'm just so. I don't know. I'm just fixated on animated shows. And, back in the day, there was a grid. All the networks had from 8 a.m. to 1 o'clock, just kind of like their primetime lineup. They had a lineup of shows. And what I find interesting is that they never lasted very long. The Incredible Hulk Yogi Bear Hour didn't last. It was like a year. And Yogi Bear had like 5 shows. They threw Yogi in outer space.
Yeah, baby. They threw Yogi in outer space.
The Yogi Bear space race, and then all of a sudden it's like Scare Bear came in.
God. See, this is like, and then people come around. My instincts are, Dave, is that Saturday morning was an area that they put people on the end of their careers and people on the beginning of their careers. Mm-hmm. And you got some chances taken, but you got some things that didn't last very long because they probably didn't have a lot of backing toward them. And so they're flipping them out like, okay, we'll flip this out, flip this in, basically hire the same people to do a different version, of this. But man, it had to make money because of how much how much original programming it, was responsible for.
And again, to bring it to the now, you can go to YouTube and pick a year, pick a network, and every show will be on there. Now, some of them are copyrighted, and you'll only see the open, but really, how many USA of Archies do you want to watch on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock? I mean, you're pretty much, once you watch the open, you're pretty much
you're okay.
You're okay with it. Another topic, and this is really a mystery. This is a mystery. Okay. This is like, let's bring out Robert Stack and do a unsolved mystery. The movie Eddie and the Cruisers. Oh yeah. What is it about this movie? Why? I mean, I go to video stores.
Yes.
I've done a little digging on this, because I would take a DVD of this movie, and we would do it on an Untoasted episode if I could find it. I went down to Columbus, Indiana, Granny B's, and I don't know if you've ever been there, but they've got like thousands of DVDs, video games, and all. It was an old grocery store that's now full of DVDs, and you could go down there and buy like season 4 of House for $4.
Okay.
I mean, all the DVDs are marked down. But anyway, I asked the person there about Eddie and the Cruisers. He goes, "Ooh, rare, really rare."
Wow.
Really rare. And I'm thinking,
wow, Dave.
I'm thinking, why? And I can't remember really his response, and people say, well, how did you not know his response? Well, because he didn't have it, and he said it was rare. And at that point, I check out. I mean, it doesn't, but think about, why is it so rare? Is there some content in there that is, they don't want to get out, or why? It's a movie that was widely seen in the 80s, Eddie and the Cruisers, the John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. They came up with Beaver Brown because it was a shade of paint that you get at Sherwin-Williams or something.
Exactly.
But I mean, why is this movie in a tomb and you can't get to it?
No idea. And this is like it's a mystery that we need to get to the bottom of, Dave, and find out why we can't watch Eddie and the Cruisers movies. Now, there was a time period.
You might be able to find 2. You might be able to find the second one.
Right, but I don't think
I cannot find it. And I every once in a while I'll Google search it to find out if it's on Amazon. It's not on any streaming services. I just don't know. And it can't be a copyright music thing, because there's all sorts of movies that have copyrighted music that are on all these channels and all this stuff. There's got to be something there, or it's got to be caught up in some sort of legal system or something. It may be very basic as far as why we can't see it, but for some reason, Eddie and the Cruisers remain the unfulfilled destiny for us.
Wow. Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, I'm looking at like boards, and basically everybody's saying like, nope, this is like you've got to get this old basically Blu-ray that has all the stuff. I think it looks like the initial comments I'm reading about have to do with licensing and copywriting.
Is that it?
So, yep.
I guess I could try to buy it. I could try to buy it, I guess. Is it for sale? Is it for sale? Could I buy a copy?
I don't. Let me look here. I don't think so. I think it's hard to buy too, honestly.
Wow. That is crazy. I don't quite get it. Don't quite get it.
Dave, this is one of those things that we're going to stay on the case. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We will find, but yeah, tough. No, it's like, where to watch and stream? Nope. Where can you buy? Nope. Wow, Dave.
We will find it.
We'll find it. That's what's happening.
We will look for it, and when we see it, it'll probably be a disappointment. But hey, we'll live with that. We'll live with that.
At that point, we'll have built it up into a crazy place.
We are back with more Crawfordsville Peachcast. We're going to talk a little NCAA basketball next. Dave Peach here with Brandon Kappas from BK Home Improvement. And Brandon, you have an exciting announcement.
Yes, Dave, thank you. We're excited to announce Zahn's Floor Covering is now Zahn's Flooring and Design Center, acquired by BK Home Improvement.
I understand Bob Zahn will be staying to help.
We are excited to have that, and absolutely, Zahn's Flooring and Design Center is happy to have Bob Zahn still involved in that same local presence they're used to dealing with.
There has been a little confusion. BK Home Improvement is not affiliated with BK Painting or BK Property Management. You are located at your headquarters in Lebanon, Indiana.
Yes, we are excited to expand both brand names inside of both markets for Lebanon and Crawfordsville. Please come visit our showroom at 310 North Green Street, as we will consistently be redesigning and offering new, innovative products and technologies.
And you are still going to say,
Zahn's Flooring and Design Center. We are everywhere you walk.
Crawfordsville Peachcast, it's a mixed bag, and what better thing to put in the mixed bag than college basketball?
Ah, Dave, that thing that brings us all together this time of the year.
I wonder, Dave, if it wasn't for college basketball, how would we communicate as a friend group from Butler? Because that seems to be the propelling force to get us to converse.
It does. It is a.
We don't do too many. Hey, how about that English department, Ted Butler?
No, we don't check in when we hear about Professor So and So.
Tell you what, that business administration new course they're offering, I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the new that new place they built by Clues, Dave. That's great.
NCAA tournament, and the stars come out for the NCAA tournament. You see Bill Murray at his son's games. And it seems like whenever they show these people, they're on their phone.
Yeah, what is that, Dave? Now everybody has a little bit of that, but
could they not prompt the person?
Yeah,
I mean, there's got to be a camera there. Could they not say, "Hey, in about 30 seconds, you're going to be on national TV. So could you look forward and act like you care?"
You also want to say, listen, you need to look at your phone not during breaks, because that's when your cutaway is going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, you're a celebrity. You're a former player. You got to be ready to go. You
got to know what's going to happen here.
Is it too much to ask of you to look around at your arena? I mean, who are you conversing with on your text that important? I mean, we're important. We're the audience watching you at a game.
Dave, do you think...
We want to see your face.
Come on. It's very simple.
Man. Get off the phone.
It's very simple. Dave, do you think that it's really quiet in the booth when they have to do the Capital One cutaway guy? When they have to cut away to him, he's just sitting there on the sidelines talking to somebody's mom. Oh, there's the Capital One guy. Like, we're not shills or anything. We're going to point him out, just like he's Gene Cady or something.
Oh, my.
Oh, Dave.
So the coaching carousel in college basketball, I got to say it kind of a little controversy with IU, right?
Well, I think
they hired a guy not named Steve Alford again.
They definitely did that. They were not interested in anyone's named Steve Alford. And, the fact is, too, I mean, they picked up a guy who came with an asset. So I give a lot of credit there. I guess the knock on this guy, if there's a knock, and that's, for the IU faithful to decide, is, boy, he certainly, he gave a spiel last year at West Virginia. Whether or not, how those kids, I guess everybody's kind of in this boat of what have you done for me lately? But, that's not kind of how the IU basketball program was built. It's, the history is what we want to get back to. And I don't know if is this the guy? Well, he's the best guy they can get in 2025 at this time.
Why didn't IU go to the Crown tournament? They get a lot of money from Fox. Another week in Bloomington, Indiana, during rain and all this stuff. Why wouldn't you want to go out to Las Vegas? And I know they only had 3 guys. I guess that was it. They only had 3 guys.
I guess that's
it. Yeah, they lost
came down
everybody.
To numbers. Yeah,
those
guys
and that's
were
the
so
thing.
Ready.
I hear Dan Patrick and people talk about why do they have the transfer portal when they do in the middle of a tournament. I mean, I guess they're over it, and that's why. But if you think about it, though, if you could round up some folks, wouldn't you want to play in Las Vegas for $300,000?
Well, and also they just need to separate it out from the end of the year and just give it, some time. I think, why they've got that set up. Hopefully over time they'll change it. But, it makes it chaotic. And it also creates a situation with coaches that doesn't look good. And it really, I think it leaves a bad taste, in the mouth of these schools that get, left at the altar, and you invest, as Indiana State did last year, right? And thinking that, oh my, here we are again, in this great place. And it's a one and done because of the way, things are. So.
What about the situation in Villanova with our friend Kevin Willard, who pretty much denied everything, and when it was obvious that, well, I shouldn't say that. You get in trouble doing this stuff. Okay. Let's just say what people are saying.
Yes.
People in Maryland are very upset with Kevin Willard and how he took the Villanova job and made comments as if he was very happy to be in Maryland.
Yeah. No. That was. Those were. That's the kind of professional integrity that we have created based on the money and the way this works now. And schools are going to get burned. I mean, and you're going to see schools that aren't going to pursue, they're going to just lay back and say, well, we don't want to get in that race. We don't want to be that. We don't want to get, left at the altar. So we'll hang back here and hope we can break out with what we have.
Well, I got to say this. If you're a coach, if I were, if it were me,
yes,
I don't know if I could say, well, my agent has been doing this. I haven't been doing it, but you are part and parcel, if that's the way you say it, to the agent. I mean, the agent is you, and you are the agent. I mean, I know that's the way this thing goes, but just to say that your agent is making calls on your behalf. I mean, so your agent is making calls
don't make it right.
So what you are telling your agent, I would be interested in other positions. So really, you are saying that you are looking for other positions. You're not going to stay at the school that you were at.
Yeah, no, it's ugly.
Although I guess at some point they probably say, "Oh no, Dave. Sometimes we don't take the offer and we stay at the school and all that stuff." But it really makes it odd.
It's ugly. It is ugly, and not the kind of thing that any school wants to leave, involved in, because it's gonna flavor how they go about their next search and who they get, and and hopefully for IU this is the best fit, and it works out well for everyone, just so they don't have to go through this again.
Okay, now another kind of Eddie and the Cruiser mystery.
Mm-hmm.
John Beilein. You know John Beilein?
John Beilein, college basketball John.
Did this guy get tired of making $3 to $6 million a year? So he's announcing?
I don't know. Why do people do these things, Dave?
I mean, I know the Cleveland thing didn't work out, but he never took another college job, did he?
No.
I mean,
he did not.
There had to be an opportunity. I don't know.
There had to be. I mean, you come out of the NBA, maybe didn't work, but
there's 15 schools in Texas, for goodness sakes, that are always hiring new guys. I don't know why they fired the Texas guy, the North Texas, South Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Christian, Texas SMU, Rice. I mean, D1. My goodness.
Yeah.
So many schools down there. You could find somebody to coach. Somebody said that name, image, and likeness is the death of the mid-majors. Do you agree with that?
Well, it is certainly a gut punch to them because of what we just talked about. Yeah. They, at every level any player that they develop, let's just use that term, any player that a mid-major team develops into a 20-point scorer is going to leave for sure for more money and a bigger conference. And so as a result, if you're in a Horizon or you're in any of the mini conferences and you put together, a good recruiting year with a couple of good transfers that are juniors, you can't keep it. You might have one good year, and that's really going to be that kills the mid-major, because the mid-major can't put together the reputation year in and year out to recruit the same kind of kids and become, what they want to become. So, I think that there's a whole lot of consequences.
Now,
and that's one of the obvious ones, I guess.
Now, so those schools that have moved up, like the Butlers and even the North Texases have moved up. Some you go from the Conference USA to the American, then from the American you maybe go to a bigger conference. Like some of them moved on to the Big 12. Some of those schools moved on to the Big 12. You see movement in the West. I guess there'll always be movement, but these schools are going to have to kind of get a program, build it quickly, and move up so that they can keep paying players. And it really, every time I turn around, it all comes down to money. I mean, this is all driven by cash.
Absolutely. And I think we're going to see, just like, over the time, there's been different, like in football, there was the run and shoot offense, at one point. And there was a guru of that. And now in professional baseball, we've got the torpedo bats, Dave, right? And we're going to ride that for a while. And I think in college basketball, the next kind of gurus are going to be these coaches that can basically turn over a team every year and rebuild, not even try to keep things together. They're just going to, every year they're going to cut. It's almost like they're looking at the team is never set.
Our final topic with the college basketball, they say in 15 years, March Madness may be over. But in 15 years, I'll be close to 80, and hopefully I'll be able to go to the bathroom properly. So I guess I don't have that much skin in this game. But here's my thought on that.
Okay.
They say March Madness, NCAA tournament. Over the weekend we saw Duke lose to Houston.
Yes,
and it was just a horrific way to lose a game. I don't care if you're Drexel or Canisius or Duke. When you lose a game like that in the NCAA tournament, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. I mean, Cooper Flagg, you could tell he was upset. He's going to go to the NBA, be the number one pick, make all sorts of money. It hurts. So let me tell you this. You can sit there and say March Madness will be the same. It's still a 67-game single elimination event. Ian Eagle comes on. He says, hey, today it's Michigan State versus Davidson. Well, guess what? The winner wins and moves on, and the loser loses, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
It's game 7, 67 times. How are they going to mess that up when you look at Duke? They're Duke.
Yes.
They've got these players. They got the number one player in the country. They don't say, well, it matters. And when if IU gets it going and they get this hotshot kid from who knows where, and they go to the Final Four and they win on a last-second shot, or they lose like Duke did, they're going to that'll have an impact either way.
Absolutely.
So how are they going to mess the NCAA tournament up? How is this nil? How is this nil? And you can say what you want about name, image, and likeness and paying players and all this stuff, but how could this possibly mess up the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, no clue and no idea.
Well, no. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know I was obviously waiting to go on a rant on that, a planned rant, but what's your thought on that?
Well, the tournament, I mean, everything has changed. Everything has changed.
But the 67-game single elimination, do or die, has not changed and never will.
No, and that is the cold hard truth of college basketball. That, whether or not you love, however you love, it both breaks your heart and exhilarates you every spring. And if you don't, I have not lost that. How we get there, some of the things now with instant replay and how we watch a game, obviously the amount of gambling that surrounds every sporting event. All these things have factored in. But the beauty of the tournament, the one and done, desperation and turnaround of, David and Goliath still happening, while we're recording, and it could happen again in a couple of days.
And it may not be David and Goliath. I mean, this was
right.
This was Duke versus Houston.
Right. Two Goliaths.
Yeah. And Duke, they're going to be thinking about that.
Well,
for a while.
That can. I mean, this is going to be the defining moment of a young coach's career at Duke. Everybody had just at this point anointed him to say, "Wow, look how quickly he has gotten beyond the Krzyzewski, shadow to bring them quietly back, and they're this and this and that." Well, now when that happens on national television in slow motion, realistic, almost like, can you believe it sort of way? There's no way you come out of that and not stew for a very long time. And again, he's, going to get some of that back, right? But he clearly wasn't enough. And to most people who watched him play, and I watched him play a few times this year, they choked. They got nervous at the wrong time, and it compiled on them, and they couldn't stop it.
Well, in Houston, though, they're a very talented team.
Yeah,
with a lot of guys, reminiscent of the Louisville teams with Denny Crum,
yeah,
I think.
Yep, very much so. And they were playing loose right there. They were playing for their lives. And I think Duke at that point had settled into, we got to just manage the win to the end. And it wasn't over. And the way the ball bounced, they lost. And they can't. Yeah, that's a gut punch that you're going to stay with. Some of those people, it's the quintessential moment of their lives, and nothing will ever top it.
Well, we had a memorable ending of the NIT at Hinkle Fieldhouse. I'm sorry, I said we were down to our last topic, but man, a guy.
One more, Dave.
Jurian Dixon had a chance to lay it in at the buzzer to win the NIT at Hinkle Fieldhouse. It came up short. Everybody's saying, "Why don't you use the backboard?" He kind of tried to throw it in. He was kind of rushed. His last second. We're talking the last tenth of a second. But quite a scene at Hinkle Fieldhouse. And again, it goes back to, there's nothing that's going to diminish a single elimination tournament and the impact. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you got. You got to play that 40 minutes. You got to play the full game. You got to finish. You never know what's going to happen. And that's what makes March Madness great. And if you pay the players, it's still going to be a single elimination tournament that is going to give you tremendous moments. And I was really critical of this tournament earlier because, critical. I was like, noticing that, you didn't have the buzzer beaters early on. But as the tournament rolled on, you had some incredible upsets. Florida, they never quit. You talk about Texas Tech. They gave up a lead. So, that's the thing. You got to play the whole game. These teams are highly skilled. It is fun to watch, and it's going to be there. I don't think we're going to worry about I don't spend much time worrying about March Madness hanging on in the nil era.
Yeah, it's going to change. It's going to evolve. We're going to see. It'll take a cue from what happens with the conferences and what is created and how that impacts, the conference. But it's not, because of the way things have evolved, the NCAA is not ever going to drive where it goes from here. They're just going to try to hang on to as much of it as they can.
One shining moment. We'll see if they keep playing that song. That might be a little bit, I guess it's still one shining moment. We'll give it that. We know that they will. And again, Dave, we thank you for joining us on a mixed bag. I hope that your bag is always mixed.
Thank you, Dave. I'll try to keep it that way. Love you, my friend.
That is Dave Meyer. I'm Dave Peach. It is the Crawfordsville Peachcast. We are sponsored by BK Home Improvement and Zons Flooring and Design Center and Central Indiana Rubber, CIR, Power for You. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello, Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peach Cast, sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber Products. Join Dave Peach every week on Apple or Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Peach Cast. This podcast was produced by Up There Media and is a presentation of Force Broadcasting Digital.